Welcome to Southwest Desert, where adventure meets the arid beauty of the American Southwest. Join us as we explore the rugged landscapes, uncover hidden historical gems, and dive deep into the rich legends and culture of this iconic region. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our latest desert adventures. Please leave a like or comment. This is very helpful. Let's journey together into the heart of the Southwest Desert. Picture this. A man stumbles through the blazing Arizona desert, delirious from heat and alcohol, his horse barely keeping him upright in the saddle. In his pocket are two black rocks that will soon be valued at $750 per ton in gold, silver, and copper. But he has no idea where he found them. Within hours, he'll collapse unconscious in the sand, creating one of the American West's most enduring mysteries, a lost fortune that has eluded treasure hunters for over a century. This is the story of the Lost Posas Gold, a tale that begins with bad decisions and ends with a secret the desert has kept buried beneath its shifting sands ever since. The year was sometime in the 1870s or early 1880s. The place was Ehrenberg, Arizona, a rough frontier town on the Colorado River, directly across from what is now Blythe, California. Ehrenberg was the metropolis of northern Yuma County, one of the few places in Arizona territory that could legitimately call itself a city. And like any self-respecting frontier town, it had plenty of saloons. About 55 miles northeast of Ehrenberg sat the Planet Copper Mine along the Bill Williams River. This wasn't just any mining operation. It was the first copper mine operated in far western Arizona. Since its discovery in 1863, the Planet had shipped 8,000 tons of ore to San Francisco, rich enough to turn a profit even after a journey by water. The owner of this successful operation was about to make the worst navigational decision of his life. That morning, the Planet mine owner found himself in Ehrenberg with a choice. He needed to return to his mine, and geography offered two routes. The logical path led north toward present-day Parker, then across the mesas below the Buckskin Mountains to reach the Planet mine. But our mine owner wasn't thinking clearly. He had spent his time in Ehrenberg celebrating, making sure not to miss a single saloon. As he later admitted with brutal honesty, he had gotten drunk and spent all his money. In his impaired state, he made a puzzling decision. Instead of heading north on the established, shorter route, he rode east through the Dome Rock Mountains on the old stage road to Prescott. This route would take him far out of his way. He'd have to travel all the way to Desert Well, then angle sharply back northwest to reach his mine. Why choose such a circuitous route? Perhaps he was searching for a better road to haul ore. Perhaps alcohol had clouded his judgment. Whatever his reasoning, he was woefully unprepared for what lay ahead. The mine owner's account of what happened next was characteristically blunt. It was extremely hot. He had no water, but he did have a small bottle of whiskey. Armed with nothing but liquid courage and poor judgment, he rode east past the old Mariquita gold mine. From there, he first spotted his destination. He could see Planet Mountain in the distance, he later recalled, and decided to head directly for it. But seeing Planet Mountain and reaching it were entirely different challenges. From the edge of La Posa Plain, Planet Peak was still at least 40 miles to the north-northeast. Between him and his destination lay one of Arizona's most inhospitable stretches, a rolling sea of sand covering more than 100 square miles known as the Quartzsite Dunes. This trackless wasteland had no springs, no waterholes, no roads, and no trails. The dunes were so impenetrable they resisted road construction until State Route 95 was finally built through them decades later. The most puzzling aspect of his journey was what he didn't do. Just a few miles east lay Tyson's Well, a well-established way station where he could have obtained water and information about the northern country. But for reasons known only to him, He ignored this logical stop and struck directly into the trackless desert. At first, crossing the broad valley slopes went relatively well, but as he pressed deeper into the desert, the landscape changed dramatically. He soon found himself in sand, he remembered later, lots of sand dunes. The horse struggled through increasingly difficult terrain as the sun climbed higher. Heat waves shimmered off the sand. The mine owner, already weakened by drinking and lack of water, began succumbing to the brutal conditions. Finally, he came to a low black hill surrounded by sand. The sun was becoming unbearable, and he was getting dizzy from the heat. He dismounted and rested for a while. Even in his deteriorating condition, the mine owner realized he was in serious trouble. But his prospector's instincts remained sharp. The black rocks at his feet caught his attention. They had the weight and appearance of valuable ore. He picked up a couple of pieces and stuck them in his pocket because they seemed heavy. Then he got back on his horse, and that was the last thing he remembered. Those 2 pieces of black rock would soon be revealed as some of the richest ore ever discovered in the Arizona desert. But at the moment, they were simply curiosities in a dying man's pocket. The faithful horse, with its unconscious rider slumped in the saddle, continued through the desert. Somehow, the animal found its way past the Plumosa Mountains and intersected the Desert Well Freight Road. As the horse changed direction toward familiar territory, the mine owner finally slipped from the saddle and lay unconscious on the sand. The riderless horse continued toward Desert Well, where Sam Butler and his brother were heading from the Harquahala mine to Ehrenberg for a little excitement and lubrication. Sam was foreman at the Harquahala, which had become one of Arizona's great gold bonanzas. When they encountered the saddled but riderless horse, Sam immediately recognized it. He told his brother that was the horse the fellow at the Planet Mine had bought. Abandoning their plans, the Butler brothers backtracked the horse up Bouse Valley. What they found was sobering. The mine owner lying unconscious in the sand, obviously in serious condition. They treated him as best they could, tied him onto the horse, and brought him back alive to Ehrenberg. When his condition failed to improve, they sent him to San Francisco, where he had a brother. With him went his few possessions, including the 2 mysterious black rocks. 2 months later, a stranger appeared at the Harquahala mine seeking Sam Butler. The man introduced himself as the Planet Mine owner's brother and delivered sobering news. The mine owner had died without recovering. But before he died, those black rocks had been assayed. The results were staggering. The ore had yielded $750 to the ton in gold, silver, and copper, the San Francisco man revealed. The dying mine owner had briefly regained consciousness near the end, just long enough to share what little he could remember about finding the ore. His brother had traveled from San Francisco with a desperate mission. He wanted help retracing his brother's route on that day the Butler brothers had picked him up. What followed was the first of many unsuccessful attempts to relocate the source of those remarkable black rocks. The San Francisco man and the Butler brothers returned to the Quartzsite Dunes and systematically searched for 2 weeks. They crisscrossed the sea of sand, examined every black outcropping, investigated every promising formation. Despite their determined efforts, they were unable to locate the little black hill where the ore had been discovered. That was more than 100 years ago, and despite countless subsequent searches, no one has succeeded since. In the decades that followed, the story evolved into multiple versions with various embellishments. Some accounts changed the discoverer to an unnamed burrow prospector. Others claimed the ore was worth $25,000 per ton rather than $750. One widely circulated version told of the Planet owner marking a rich ledge with his coat and 2 six-shooters before heading home, only to have his body found later at the sand's edge. Despite variations, all versions agreed on key details. The ore was found in the sand desert north of Quartzsite. The Planet Mine was involved, and the discovery represented a waiting fortune. Today, Highway 95 provides easy access to the Quartzsite Dunes for modern treasure hunters. In spring, the desert becomes a spectacular wildflower display. But in summer, it remains barren, blazing, and dangerous, just as it was for the Planet Mine owner. Join my Patreon community and discover my art print products on my website in the links provided in my description and link above. Also, if you would like a particular image from my videos, give the timestamp for image, and I will upload it to my website and Patreon. Thank you for joining your desert frontiersman Alan for another Southwest Gold story. Check out my large catalog of Southwest videos and playlists on historical tales, legends, lost gold stories, and adult bedtime stories. If you like a certain image from my videos, tell me in comments and give timestamp. Happy trails! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.